All right, welcome everybody. This is the trade recap for March 7, 2025. Not too much today. I just took a 15-minute orb retest on YM that I got completely blown out of, which was annoying. But it is what it is. Can't control that. The market's gonna do what it's gonna do. I had my buy right over here. Stop loss was 50 points. And then I was aiming for 100 points for my second contract. And then this thing just got knifed. One thing that I've noticed on the ones that I've taken this week, last week, and pretty much since the middle of February when Trump started talking basically every day or every other day, every time he speaks and the retest sets up, it doesn't work. I've only had one of them work in the last like four or five that I've taken. So moving forward, if he's speaking that day, I am avoiding this setup completely. I'm not taking it. What I have noticed though is that the regular stop version tends to work pretty well on those days. Like today, let's go to the 15 minute and let's turn off these BFs for now. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so today, if you did the regular stop version using the 50% fib as kind of like your stop loss and your guide, that one worked pretty well. I didn't take it today though, because I didn't like that wick that showed up at the very end, right before the candle closed. So I avoided it. I had to cancel my order on the spot. But yeah, today's one worked very nice. Stop was under 19 points. So we would be aiming for at least 1R, and it looked like it hit 128 at the peak. I would have been done on that trade if I took it, but you know, that wick made me get rid of the trade or cancel the trade anyway. Hey, Kev, welcome. But yeah, that was the retest version was the one that I took today and I lost on that. The second trade that I took, let me actually put the screenshot in the chat to show you guys because it's going to look different since Top Step has. I'll keep that image in the chart for reference. That's YM on the 5 minute. So the second trade that I took today, which worked out pretty well, was this H right over here. It doesn't look as clean. Let me bring up the Discord and let me actually bring up the image. Can I paste this in here? Interesting. Cool. All right. So basically, right over here, this is what it looked like on Top Step because they already rolled over the contract for the next expiration. So I was looking at my Top Step, not on TradingView when I took this trade. So pretty much took this bearish TTO to the downside or bearish H pattern off this inside bar right over here. Took that two down. So I went two and two down while it was showing here with a double inside bar to the downside. So if you were looking at TradingView, you wouldn't have taken this trade. But if you were looking on Top Step, it was a lot cleaner. So I took this, I took it down, I think it was like 80 or 90 points. Yeah, I took it to this body. No, to the wick. Yeah, right over here, 83 points. So like the beginning of this candle, I got out. I was gonna aim to leave like a runner for this, but because Trump started talking, by the time I got in that trade, I didn't want to overstay my welcome because he can say something and we can spike up, which I didn't want to be in. But yeah, that was pretty much the second trade that I took. It helped out with the loss from this morning. Still ended red because I didn't size too big. on this trade, so I ended up small red for the day. But it is what it is. We live to fight another day. One thing to note that I mentioned in the live trading session today, for those who weren't there, I think you brought this up, Sonos, but for the bearish TTO, even though I would prefer, like the daily 4 hour and 1 hour to be in my favor, we can still use discretion when we are taking these setups, right? Like if we look at the chart up here, we made a lower low once this candle right here with this bottom, and then another lower low right over here when it broke this low. So there's one H right here, and then we're still making lower lows. So to me, the structure has shifted bearish. So it only made sense for me to take this bearish H to the downside for a technically a third H, since there was one right over here, this one over here. But I wouldn't have taken this one. This one would have been decent, and then the one that I took right over here for that one. So you can still use discretion, perfectly acceptable. I just prefer, like, when it's in proper trend day, to take them, the higher probability ones, but these still work out as well. And for those who stayed on the chart, you got this nice little dirty W. It like barely broke that bottom by like a few ticks, and then it just reversed back up. Unfortunately, I don't trade during lunch, so. And there was another bearish TTO right over here, actually, off this shooter to the downside, which hit the target. So technically four H's today if you want to take this one. But yeah, pretty much all I have and all I did today. How about you guys? What trades did you guys take? Smart man. I might actually just not even trade at all when Trump is speaking on those days. Oh, before I forget, when you guys are checking your um, Forex Factory for the news that's going to come out, make sure to refresh it in the morning, because what I've been noticing is that the day of, they'll add when, like, more times that Trump speaks, because he was only supposed to speak today at, like, I think 3 p.m. or 3:30. And then Isaiah's brought it to my attention that he was speaking at 11, which I was confused about because I only saw three. And I refreshed my page, and right there, they added him in again at 11. So make sure to refresh and check the news in the morning as well, because you never know when he's gonna pop in.
Yeah, on Forex Factory it says it was added 32 minutes before the release time. So even in the morning, like you still might not see it.
Oh, damn. In that case, refresh your screen every
So
30 minutes.
yeah,
The 312 down after the 1045 candle. Oh, pretty much the same trade that I took, Isaiah. Yeah, that was a good one. Very nice. Anything you guys want to go over? The week in general, the last few weeks. I've been seeing some people having some trouble once our good old president started talking a lot more than he should. Yeah, definitely got to be mindful of that. The orb I went over yesterday, you want to do more research on it? Yeah, definitely. The definitely check it out. It definitely seems a lot more viable, at least with the way things have switched up. The retest version hasn't been as accurate on the days that he speaks. So, and I've been taking the version that I went over yesterday. Been working pretty well. I've been trading it on ES though. Well, specifically MES to be specific on the micros. Been working pretty nice. You can depending how many contracts you have, I take half at 1R and then I take the other one at 2R, or if you want to trail the candles after they close, you can definitely do that too to maximize it. Because I think uh this week, let me see, hold on, let me bring this up real quick. Yeah, I think it was this week and one day last week that I started taking it on ES or MES rather. I'll tell you right now. Cappuccino blessing us with his presence. Welcome, sir.
Baby, how we doing?
We out
You
here.
see the stuff today?
Say it again.
You see the stuff I posted today?
Yep.
Good hits.
Hmm. I need Jerome to speak a lot more than Trump.
Today's low it down spies bottom of what Riley and I follow. If you see that snap,
Hmm.
um,
They are
yeah,
right there.
sorry.
I just need NVIDIA just a little bit more to the downside.
You know what, man? You'll get it for OpEx. I can see it now. Um, like next week, um, middle of the week, I think you'll get it.
103, that's all I need. Then I'll turn on my ATM forever. What day was this on? March 3rd, I took it. And so that was the third. Let's bring up the 15-minute. Yep. Yeah, this day was great.
Today was highest straddle of the year, by the way. At the money, put and call opened at 3 each. Absolutely insane.
Sheesh. Yeah, I took this one on Monday. This one was real good. 13.50 actually was the stop. Yep, and then you just take it every R if you want, or when you're happy. This hit a peak of like 39 points. I left at 27 points because I was good with that profit. I was like, I'm gonna take my money. I'm getting off for the day. I don't want to be on here. So that day was pretty nice. The one on Tuesday worked out as well. However, I didn't like that wick, so I skipped it. I didn't take the one on Friday because I had that inside bar. I took this one on Thursday last week. That one was good to the downside. But yeah, Isaiah, definitely check out that one. Um, of course, paper trade it, as you know, just to get comfortable with it. One thing to note is the stop losses are always going to be they're going to vary based on the 15-minute candle. So um, you can like size accordingly. So like your loss is kind of the same each time. So if it's like, I don't know, 70 points and you don't want to lose more than 200, you size accordingly. If the stop loss is 100 points, size down to just keep the dollar value in the same range. Because you don't want to have like a $500 day, then like a $200 day, just to kind of keep it in line.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about when I do research. I want to see what the point values are for MES and YM and how to contract sized into those.
As long as it doesn't you kind of have to do the math like on the spot. Sometimes you'll be lucky. But it usually triggers like within like 30 seconds of the 15-minute candle closing. So you might have to
Oh
be a
yeah,
little quicker. So I kind of just
yeah,
eyeball it. And if
yep.
I'm
They definitely have been quick this week.
Mhm. And if you're not 100% like to get on the spot, I would just go like one contract less. So if I was gonna do like four, I would just do three just to be safe. Because there was a trade, I think this week or last week. I went to do something for another setup and I misread the point stop loss. It was like 120 points. And I think I put like seven or eight MYM when I wanted to put like six. So I was like, oof, I gotta trim some off ASAP. But
That's a lot for these 150-point swing 5-minute candles.
yep, definitely not a fan, but
Product of the environment, right?
pretty
It's the
much.
VIX. It's the VIX.
Yeah, the VIX
You
was
want to know
powerful.
this started last week, the like February, kind of
I'm gonna
end of
check out
February.
yeah, I'm gonna check out some setups to like sell premium on because I haven't sold premium like 2 weeks now, or 2, 3 weeks.
12/21 was the last normal day. After that, 25-point expected range, you started getting 50 to 60 to 40 to now 77 today, or 71, which is ridiculous.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was definitely good for options this morning.
Yeah, options was definitely the place to be. 118 points today? Sheesh.
Knowing that's coming gives you a big advantage too, because you just wait till you see that setup.
147 points from the high to the low today. Always got to be adapting. Anyway, any other trades you guys want to go over before we go enjoy our Friday?
Could you post me your VIX chart by any chance? That's all.
VIX.
Yes, sir.
I haven't charted this in, I don't even know when the last time I saw. Oh, VIX is 23. That makes a 26 a hit today. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if it helps, my idea is sub 24, we go 22, 20, and then bounce. So that's mark it down at 20,
Let me put an
mark it
alert
up
here,
until we hit 20.
and then I'll put an alert at 18 to let me know that things are going back to normal again. What the heck was this candle? August 24? Did that actually happen? Maybe like
That was
that war news or whatever, when like everything dumped out like 8% overnight, almost created a circuit breaker.
Harry trade? Is that Japan?
Yeah, August was Japan. That was a carry trade.
Oh yeah. Wild.
Right?
Those are the days you want to sell calls, right?
I saw someone playing Condors today, and I'm just like, oh gosh.
Oh, no.
Dude, it's nuts.
Those are brave
Condors and
individuals.
high volatility is just very hard to play. It's easier to do straddle.
Did condors like twice. I'm like, I'm good. I'm just gonna sell premium. I rather sell a naked call than do condors.
There's just nothing beats the straddle. Like I've been posting it all day or like every day. Like just for expected range, like I feel like it helps people so much.
100% it does. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, you said today was a three, standard deviation of three. Is that what it was?
Now today I had like a 71 point move, 70-point move. That's
Oh,
what the
okay.
options read. Yeah, that VIX is interesting.
The time to be alive. All I ask is just for another 2020. That was time to be alive. I can't even imagine trading futures during like a 2020 market. I guess you just like buy long and just hold forever.
I mean,
I hold.
if you want it, you can get your 4,800. You just gotta bear flag out like 600 or so. Um, I mean that's my view. It's that or you go to all-time highs. No in between.
20. Remember when you joined ES, Cap? Me and Pablo joined, I
The
think in
day, yeah,
June.
way back, bro.
I think it was like in June when we joined up. That was May.
You want to see just how far we've come? Look at that. That's how far we've come.
Let's go on the weekly. Yeah, we joined in like right over here.
Yeah, then we crashed. That was fun. And if you notice, look at the crash. Look at this little fractal, right? Look at that crash fractal. Um, marking the bottom of like the 3,500.
Right over here.
Yeah, kind of the same thing going on here with the. I mean, obviously it's full of lines, but you can see the blue and the purple here. So yeah, I mean, if you want that, we can go bear flag 600 real quick. Get your COVID pricing. It's so hard, man.
Structurally, we're bouncing off this area. Might just be a dead cat bounce because structure changed. We're making lower lows now. We're just making higher highs.
Remember how vicious those dead cats were back then too.
Yep. Looks like,
That's why I think 600 is not out of the question. So
yeah,
that's where my head's at.
I can definitely see that because we pretty much been doing that. So we made some lower lows here, then started making the higher highs. And we did that until December. And now we're making so the structure is shifting bearish.
Hmm.
And we just took out October lows, September lows actually. Next stop
Like,
is the beginning of September lows.
hmm.
That's all I need. Hold on, let me see in video real quick.
Yeah, looking at everything, I think everything gapped back down to elections.
Yep, yeah, I think everything in election got obliterated.
Let's see what Monday brings. Could be a dead cat bounce, like you said, just rally back up after that.
Hey, as long as they tag me in for 103 on Nvidia, I'll be happy. Because when this happened back in August, like that sub 100, I bought a bunch of shares like at 93, and then it
Oh
went up
yeah.
to like 115 in 2 days. I'm like, what the heck? Or like a week. I'm like, what the heck? I'm selling all of this. And then I,
About 97,
bro,
sold 120. Take that.
I bought at 93, and then I'm like I'm gonna hold until like 130. That happens like 2 months later, and then it happens the following week. I'm like, all right, I'm getting rid of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you have to.
Yep. And then I'm like, cool, let me get it. Let me put a buy order back at like 95. And we had that dip over here, and then it bounced back up. So now I'm gonna get in at 103, and I'm just gonna hold that forever, and I'm just gonna sell covered calls on it in my Roth, and then I'm just gonna keep on wheeling that. Well, I'm not gonna let it get assigned, but I'm use the proceeds to just get more shares. So I get 200 shares and then sell two covered calls and pretty much just keep on doing that until I retire.
Here, where is this? I got this for you. Um,
YM hasn't made a lower low yet. We're right there though.
Yeah, that thing has been strong. Every time it bottoms out, it just rebounds so hard.
Hmm.
learning. Um, I have a good example of a straddle for the learning tab.
What's Russell doing? Russell is what I wanted to get 100 shares of because I can just sell those calls every 2 days with the expiration dates as opposed to weekly with Nvidia. But Nvidia is cheaper now, and I don't want to liquidate my other holdings in my Roth because my cost basis is real good for those, and the dividends are nice.
IWM's that kind of chart, or also RTY. Kind of that chart, like I see right now, is going to change next week um, with the OPEX. For sure, I'm like pretty convinced it's going to get mass volatility
All right, let's see.
mid-March.
I can see that. Maybe we come back up, hit the 50 fib or the 61, and then just
Yeah.
drop back down.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there like a crypto summit today?
Yeah, there was.
Rest in peace.
Post this in the options guide. Tag you in it. Nice little example.
Sweet.
And then one more. That's with big numbers too, in case it confuses people.
Heard you gonna have a master class for us.
I just add the call and the put, man. I just add the call and the put, and I use Riley's level.
You usually run the straddle on the indices.
Yeah. So
Sure.
I like seeing an implied move hit and then fading it, right? If I see the hold. Like if we're like middle of the day at lunch at like the bottom of the day, like bottom of the charts and the implied move, I'll risk something for a little like 8-point move, 16-point move, maybe.
Not bad. Good old XRP. Only took 3,000 years.
Oh, hey, Pi next week. Pi day.
Oh yeah. I gotta see how much bro, Fappy needs to verify himself. I have 1,000 pi that's unverified because of him.
You gotta call him. He's got days.
Bro. And King in Yellow said that his got unlocked, but I'm like, mine still isn't. I did get a good amount that I was able to sell, but what, hold on, what's pi right now?
I think it's like $2, so like I should be up
Oh
like
yeah, pretty much $1,700 that I can't access. So,
yeah, 1.4K that I can't touch. Exactly.
and a few days ago, when it was almost at $3, I'm like, dude, please. Oh
I
well.
don't it there's gotta be some kind of cabal behind it that I don't know. Like,
That rug pull doesn't look crazy to y'all. Like,
well, we didn't
look
pay
at that
anything
first
for it.
candle.
It's bad. It's a bad look, I know.
Yeah.
We didn't pay anything for it.
Oh, all right.
We
Yeah,
started
no,
this in high school. Like,
Yeah, so basically for pi, for those who don't know, it was this thing that came out during, I think, like COVID or a year before, where like some dudes, I don't know, some PhD dudes made it or what have you, and you literally go on the app and you just press mine, and then it just mines pi for you, and that's it.
oh,
And as
gotcha. All
more
right.
the
people
thing
got,
that
Yeah.
convinced me was you had to watch ads too, so there was ad money. Like I knew that.
oh fuck that! Every time the ads came up, I just closed the app and opened it back up, and it took the ad off.
Yeah, fact. But I knew that's like they could make money like with that.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then basically, the more people that you invited and have like in your circle, it'll boost the amount of pie that you mined. So when I first started, you can get like 10, 15 pie a day. Maybe not that much. I think like 3 to 5 a day. And then with everybody else added, you could get like 7 to 10 a day. Um, and then there was I think in 2020, some people unofficially released Pi on like some weird crypto exchange without the owner's permission, and it was selling for like 2, 3 thousand a coin. Crazy
Damn.
numbers. And then the owners found out and they shut it down quick. And then finally, basically last month in February, they officially released it to actually be sold. So this is everybody holding for all those years.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yep. So the early adopters, shit, they probably have like like tens of thousands of coins.
Yeah.
So it's just free money for us, but I would like free
Yeah, that's
$1,700 to use. But at least I got 1,400 out of it so far. So we'll see if I can get the rest out. If not, it is what it is. Like Cap mentioned, it's
Exactly.
free. So, but yeah, might get a nice.
Definitely don't long this on release. Just let it see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely not. This is literally just like I would never buy this because there's just nothing to it besides just that. It's just people getting ready to sell over and over. So good show to watch though. Welcome,
Yeah, I'm
Billy.
not really
You
into
know?
like the whole crypto stuff, especially with all these like new coins. I feel like a lot of them are just rug pulls. I don't even bother. Maybe if it was like Bitcoin, like if you're like day trading that or Ethereum or like a more stable coin, but like these new ones, I don't even trust them.
iBit is a good one. It's only $50.
The stock?
And there's a lot of big money in it. So whenever it hits a level, they hedge, right? So like with millions of dollars, iBit, yeah, that one.
Yeah, the crypto like stocks themselves. I like Beto because they pay a nice dividend, but iBit
Yeah.
is not gonna have the big fluctuations. One thing that you need to know about Beto for those who aren't invested in, I only have like think like 7% maximum of my Roth that I'm gonna put back into it because I had like 10% when I bought at like 17. What was it? Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Yeah, I bought down here like around 1750. And when it shot up to 25, I sold all of it, plus whatever dividends I got every month from it. So I'm buying back in now. I bought some at $20 and some at 1870. So I have like 2% right now, and I'm gonna up it if to 10% again if it gets back to on like 1750 area. One thing to note though, they make money by trading Bitcoin futures. So if Bitcoin is flat, the payout that month is probably not going to be that big. If the volatility is high, the payout's probably going to be decent. This last one was about 72, 71 cents. The last one was 93, 111, 99. So it's been like 80, besides the previous one, it's been like 80 cents, 80 cents to a dollar every month, which is very nice. But keep that in mind. If Bitcoin isn't going crazy, it's probably going to slowly bleed out with the distributions, but you might break even um, with the NAV erosion and the dividend payouts. So I wouldn't go too crazy with this. Just something good to have because I wanted some Bitcoin exposure in my port, and I don't want to buy the ones that don't give me dividends. So I'm only keeping it to like 7 to 8% in my Roth. But of course, you guys
That's why I
do.
bought
Say that again.
That's why I bought GME. Bitcoin exposure.
That too.
No, if you were wondering, Roaring Kitty's average is 2341. And he has millions of dollars worth of shares. So hey, I'll buy a little bit.
Why not?
Market's down. So 2341. I have him penned at.
About closed above the 70, but he's drawing the fib from this low to this high. And they have earnings coming up this month. Interesting. The end of the month too.
It's a good fractal, man.
They've been beating earnings, revenue down, but to be
$4
expected.
billion cash. It's ready to go.
Didn't the dude buy something recently? Cohen?
There was a 13G on oh gosh, Chewy. And I think he did something with Bye Bye Baby.
I think that's what it was. There was something that he was doing that I think people were like looking at.
The main appeal for me is market has quote unquote crashed and it's back to his average, Roaring Kitty.
Knowing him, he'll buy
That's a
more.
good one too. That's a really good one. Riley likes that.
WBA.
Yep.
I saw it yesterday. So for those who don't know, Walgreens is, well, I'm not sure if it's been solidified or not, but in Q4 of this year, so sometime in October to December, they're gonna get bought out. Actually, let me just bring up the article so we can see it together.
His exact words were, "I want to save it." That's where it is right now. It needs a hero.
It's pretty much free money if you can get it under like 10. I want it under 10 if it even gets there. All right, there's a $10 billion buyout, private equity. 11.45 a share. So let's bring this up. So this is the buyout price. So no matter what the price is, if you get it under that, you're basically going to make free money because they're going to buy the shares at that price. The only thing, obviously, there's nothing, what's that term? Nothing is 100%. So the only way you'll get shredded is if the deal doesn't go through and then this thing gets obliterated. So anything, I want to get it under $10 and ride it out. Like Twitter's the last one I regret. But there was like a lot of stuff with Elon and stuff at the time, so it was a little risky. But Twitter was
Complicated.
easy money. That thing went to like what, 36, and then they bought it out like 42, 44.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Yeah.
easy, like 20%
Division
gain.
was Activision was amazing too.
Yeah, Activision was another one too. So I would only get this in the $10. I have an alert waiting for me at 9.97. So we'll see what happens. Whoops, that's the wrong fib. Close above the 50. We'll see what next week brings. That news probably gonna bring it up, but we'll see.
I have one more for you. It's not what you think. It's called NAK. This is directly tied into the Ukraine deal. They are an Alaskan mining company.
Is there a buyout? Or
I was tipped off on it at 62, so I bought a little bit. I mean, it's a penny stock. If you think we're going to all-time highs, obviously, like, full risk, but the theme is it's metals. So it also goes in line with what do you think about gold? What do you think about silver? What do you think about copper? Et cetera, et cetera. No, it's a good cheapie. If you're bullish, you always need a good penny stock, right?
I have trauma from ES.
I know. The thing is, though, with this one, I feel Trump loves Alaska and cares deeply for that state in general. And I think he's going to be willing to put a little dough in this. Because he wants metals. He wants rare earths, as he calls it. Rare earths.
You gotta watch that clip.
Rare
Next,
earths. But yeah, that's just thematic.
I got some Veil. I think it's Veil. Yeah, Veil.
Yeah, good one. I like it.
It finally reversed on the monthly. Took forever. I got some around like 9.20 was my last average down. I'm not gonna buy any more just because I'm already at percentage for my account on how much I can get. So once my balance or my account value goes up, then I'll probably consider putting some more cash into it just to even out at like 8-9% exposure in the port. But yeah, dividends pretty decent. I think they're the biggest miners of copper in the world. I think that's what it is. I think it's copper. I'll tell you right now. Vale. No, the largest producer for iron ore and nickel. That's what it was. But they also produce copper and some other metals. They're based out of Brazil. So something to note, this is an ADR. So if you do get this, you're gonna get hit with foreign tax. If you don't want to deal with foreign tax in your portfolio, don't get this. I got it in my Roth, so I don't need to deal with that when I'm filing my taxes. So keep that in mind. But they only pay dividends twice a year. The next one is this week, 37 cents. And because we live, well, since we live, for those who live in the US anyway, or have US citizenship, I think there's like a 10% tax or 15% foreign tax that you pay on the dividend. So instead of it being like 37 cents, it'll probably be like 33, 34, something like that, or 32 to 30, 32 to 34. Have they take out that foreign tax? But, I'll take it. Something to have some exposure. Cap, have you tried using AI to go through 10Ks?
No, but I would use Grok over anything else.
Interesting. I'm gonna use that because I was thinking that the other
Grok
day.
3, Grok 3 I really like.
I'm like, if we had this stuff when we're trading pennies and doing that fundamental analysis, it would have saved hours of my life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Any any trades you guys want to look at before we go home? Well, get off anyway. We're already home, I'd imagine. Carmel, Billy, paid any trades you want me to go over? Oh wow, I just saw your message in the chat. Yeah, so if you own 100 shares of any if you own 100 shares of any stock, you can sell one covered call. So um we're pretty much the way that I would trade it is basically I'm going to be limited to the setups that I probably will take because I don't want to babysit it and kind of like treat it as like a day trade. But essentially, I would only be taking bearish setups because when we're selling when we're selling the call, we're actually that's a bearish strategy. The call in and of itself is a bearish strategy. But so I'll probably sell a call as soon as it breaks, let's say like this low on the weekly at 134. I'm a little more risk averse when it comes to selling premium since I use a stop loss. Please always use a stop loss when you're selling premium because it can go south real fast. Um, but yeah, if I were to, let's say, for example, I have 100 shares of Nvidia, I would have sold a at the money call. So I'll probably if the trigger, let's get some numbers. And let's bring up the options chain to get some numbers as well. This thing is so weird. I can't wait until they make this better looking. All right, let's go to NVIDIA. So I would do a month out, at least 30 to 45 days to collect a decent amount of premium. So I'll do April 4th, preferably the monthly contracts and not the weekly contracts, but either one is fine. Where are we at? Hold on, this thing is weird. Let me just use a contract that's in 112 to get a idea of the premium. All right, I am short a call. Where's the premium? There we go. All right, so if I sold the 112, let's pretend this is a 134 call. The premium is 760. Let's say 750 just to round off. So they're pretty much giving me 750 up front. And then if it goes to zero, then I'll basically collect the full premium, but I'll probably close it out. Actually, hold on. Let me actually write this down. So we're pretending that this is a 134 call that I'm selling, even though it's a 112, just for the sake of the conversation. Delta is 54. Theta is what? Where is the theta? Theta is $11. Beautiful. And the premium is 750 for the sake of the conversation. All right, so let's pretend this is the contract that we had 2 weeks ago. Again, I like to be more risk averse. I'm just gonna sell at the money because by the time it hits my target, it's not gonna be in the at the money anymore. It's gonna be out of the money. So my first target would be, I'll probably use this body. And then let's say this body down here is a second target if I want to be adventurous. So just based off the delta, if it were to hit that first target, let's say $4 away, we just multiply that. Let's say 216 bucks that we've gained just by the delta movement. And let's see, it pretty much hit that target in 1 day. So let's say that what 216 plus the theta, 227 in a single day. And you could have bought back the contract for 500 bucks and change, and then collected the 200 bucks. Or if you want to hold it for longer until it's like another target, let's say you're waiting for it to hit the second target down here. Let's do, where's my calculator? Because I don't want to do math in my head right now. That's what, 10 deltas. Let's make life easy. 750 divided by 54, even though the delta is probably going to decrease because the contract's strike is getting further away. Oh, 13 bucks. So pretty much by the time it hits from your entry to pretty much this candle, that contract is worthless. It's pretty much zero at that point. Plus, it's been what, 4 days since you got into that trade. That's like about $44 in data that took away from the premium. Yeah, so pretty much in 4 days, you would have collected the full $750 premium. And then you can use that to buy whatever else you want. Use it to buy more shares, which is pretty much 7 shares. Well, not really 7 shares because it's at 120, but you get the idea, hopefully. But yeah, selling premium, love it.
Like making stuff zero cost. That's also really fun.
Zero cost, what do you mean?
Like if you make an option free, like say you go in the money on a call, right?
Mhm.
You can then sell the strike up like one or two above, or try and match the delta, and make that free and look for a good close. It's just like more like if you have an option expiring, right?
Mhm.
And it's like a 0 day, and you're like, well, I gotta go golfing, and I'm in the money, and I don't want to sell, but I want to stay in the trade.
Ah, I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It's another cool way to think about it. Like if you're directional like that, it's a cool way to think about it.
Hmm. I'll definitely look into that. Hopefully, this crash course on selling premium made sense. If not, definitely paper trade it. It'll make more sense. And as always, for the love of everything, please use a stop loss. My buddy told me a horror story the other day where a client called him and what was it? She sold. So, bro, listen to this. She sold in the money puts expiring the next day. And I don't mean in the money puts like $2 in the money put. I mean like $50 in the money puts for like Nvidia, um, Meta, Apple. And the next day she got a sign for like negative 400K that she owed in the account.
The thing there, like just from like me listening, if she's putting on that size in the first place, she has to have coverage.
Dude, it was on margin.
Yeah, see there it's just that like it just gets worse, right? So if you're gonna put that much money, because that in the money put costs a lot of money, yeah. There's no way it doesn't.
Mhm.
So why don't you just think about maybe playing the other side and using half that, and then buying a different one. Just using half that money in general, but being on both sides, and hedge your delta once you go hit a break even or et cetera, et cetera.
That's what they should have done. My buddy said the person was like, "Hey, I want to close my account." I'm like, "It's too late for that. You got to pay that."
It's nightmarish.
Yep. I'm like, you should probably not sell extremely deep in the money puts expiring the next day.
Run the trade on Sim.
Literally. When I heard that, I'm like, dude, how? Did they mean to sell a call? If they sold a call, that would have made sense. Like the strike prices that I saw or that he sent me.
Yeah, it's like the guy that bought the Tesla calls yesterday.
Oh yeah, he's toast. That was $12,000 down the drain.
Even if he's like short the equity and is like trying to turn like a potential like 5 mil or like 1 mil into 5 mil loss, like trying to mitigate that, like that's not what you do. There's no premium on it. It's out the money. You have no shot.
Pretty much with 1 day to go. Cool. All right. I'm gonna go watch a movie. I will see you guys tomorrow for Chart and Chill, 11 a.m. Tap, as always. Love talking to you and everybody else.
I'll be on tomorrow for sure.
I will see you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Hi.